देहान्यत्वान्न मे जन्म जरा कार्शलयादयः शब्दादीन् विषयै संघो निरिन्द्रियतया न च देहान्यत्वान्न मे जन्म जरा कार्शलयादयः शब्दादि विषयै संघो निरिन्द्रियतया न च. Being other than the body, dehanya anyat. Dehan is the body, atvat other. Being distinct from the body, I have no birth, nor old age, nor senility, nor death, etc. And without the sense organs, shabdhadi vishayai sangha. Without sense objects, I am not attached, sense organs, I'm not attached to sense objects like sound, etc. Just now we learned, don't have the magnifying glass, and our friend is putting magnifying glass. This all is okay. Correct, Harishji. This all we need to magnify. Perfect. Thank you, Ji. Being distinct from the body. Can we have the members? Thank you, sir. So here he's directly negating the physical body. He says the Atman has got nothing to do with the body. I am not the body. So when you say I am not the body, what would happen? Anything that happens at the physical level, you are not subjected to the change that happens at the physical level. The 5 metamorphic changes the body goes through. The body goes through the changes from birth, growth, disease, decay, death. Birth, growth, disease, decay, death. So you become objective. You're not affected by the changes at the physical level. So first thing you negate, the process of negation starts from grossest to the subtlest. It's easier to negate anything gross. It's difficult to negate anything subtle. So the grossest is Gayatri Ma. What is the grossest to negate?
Grossest is the physical body.
Grosser than physical body?
Matter.
What matter? Huh?
External matters.
What is external matter here talking about?
World of objects, sense objects.
Okay, when you say negating external objects means what?
Anything that attracts us, or with the most we are attached to, as you have been reminding me, the most we are attached to, we'll have to first think, negate it.
What I've been telling you, Ma. No, don't tell that. I only don't remember. You tell me separately. Now, see, when we say inert matter, how do you lose the charm for inert matter?
When you don't have an attachment towards it, or when you don't give much value to it.
No, see, correct. What he's only saying is the grossest first thing you lose value is for gross objects. So from the inert objects comes to the physical body. That's the order you got to move. So you have no value for anything that what in other terms, what you can buy with gold. In fact, the famous words of Ramatirtha, it rings a bell. Iron and gold are good for buying iron and gold. That's all. So if you have a value for iron and gold, it is inert matter. So he says, first you got to negate inert matter. Having negated inert matter, come to the physical body. And they say, I am not the body. And the body is the Annamaya Kosha. So if you can't control your tongue, I tell you, one is unfit for spirituality. The least you can practice is control the tongue. There is no taste of food before it touches the tongue. There's no taste after it passes the tongue. And yet you can't control that 1-inch palate. What perfection we're talking about, what evolution we're talking about. I don't understand. We're all in thin air. You want spirituality, first control is control of your tongue. It starts there. You can't do that, long way to go. This Janma, forget it. Next 10 Janmas, forget it. Because he's saying, I'm not the body. How can I fall for my senses? So he says, when you have no value for it, rejected it, what happens? Since I don't have sense organs, I am not attached to sense objects. Dr. Renukama, sorry, is it Dr. Gayatri Ma, isn't it? Yes, ma, namaskaram. If I can engage you and ask you, good to have you. When you have,
Thank you.
when he says, if you've been following, he says, since I'm not the body, I'm not attached to sense objects. What does it mean? What do you understand with that? It doesn't mean you must not have sense objects, please. It's ridiculous to, we can't live a life without possessions, isn't it? But what is he trying to convey here?
I think I understand it as I have this body, but what I do with it, how my sense organs and my body, what I see the world through that, or I experience the world through that, or I let those organs, those sense organs especially, lead me through life. Do I look at life through the organs, or do I live through the organs, experience everything just as the organs are experiencing? So maybe the organs or my body is not entirely, couldn't entirely be me. It couldn't, because there is, say, I don't have vision. I can still experience. So even without the organ, there is me. Without any one of these, there is I whatever it is, that is I. So what it is, I don't. I am, I mean, I can't identify, but definitely it is not all what my organs are telling me. It is definitely not that. I mean, it's not limited to that, or maybe it is misleading me.
No, no. In fact, very well said that the limitation, what you conveyed is, don't be fooled and charmed by what sense organs create a perceivable world of sense objects.
Uh-huh.
Because even when one or two sense perception, or you imagine all the perceptions of the senses are gone, there is a certain experience.
Right.
There's a certain conception. But then going step by step, even if all that is gone, there's something still there. If you remove all this, it is not that is minus. It's like
Ah,
you
right.
come, it's like you come into this room now and say, start taking everything that's in the room. After you've cleared everything out of the room, you say the room is empty. To which you're saying, no, no, the room is not empty. There's still space there. There's space which you don't see it. In that sense, what he's slowly, step by step, taking us is reject the entire material world, reject the physical world, and then he's going to reject the other koshas as well. So if you're familiar with the philosophical term, Annamaya kosha refers to the body.
Yes.
So he's saying, I'm not this body. So when he says, I am not attached to sense objects, which only means I have a perfect control over my sense organs. At a relative level, the practice, ultimately to say, I am not the body. In fact, a simple phrase, which is so profound, when you keep hearing from the gurus, it's so impactful. A simple statement, he says, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not my intellect, I am the essential self, the Atman, the pure divinity. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I am that essential self within, I am that Atman. That simple statement itself is so profound, is so grand, if you're able to attune to it. So we may not reach to the level to say, I'm not the body. How do you start abhyasa practice? You can say, I don't want to fall a prey to these senses and the world, the sense perception it creates. So I will not fall a prey to sense objects. Like sound for the ears, sight for the eyes, smell for the nose, taste for the tongue, touch for the skin. All the sense organs, I'm a perfect master. I've got them perfectly under my control. Can that be the practice? There has to be the practice for all of us, isn't it? There has to be the abhyasa. And ultimately you come to a state where you say, I am not this body. Because I'm not the body, whatever body goes through, I'm not affected. The ultimate thing, wonderful, Gayatri Ma. Good to hear from you. So ultimate thing, example of not the body is when you hear the great tales of experience of great Ramana Maharshi, the great Ramana. Apparently, he had a lump on his back and he had to be operated. And he told the doctors to attend to him without any anesthesia. So the surgery was going on. And he gave an assurance that he will cooperate. And it will not become a nuisance to the doctors when the surgery is going on. Because while the surgery is going on, if he doesn't cooperate, it's going to be a rather difficult. He said, I assure you, my body will not be of any hindrance to you. Carry on with what procedure you want to go through. So apparently he sat, the doctors did the surgery, they stitched him up, and then they left. And thereafter, the next satsang, when his shishyas, the people close to him, asked, Master, Maharshi, did it not hurt? Did you not feel the pain? To which apparently he said, it suffered. It suffered. It felt the pain, not me. The body felt the pain. Yes, it will feel. I'm not insensitive that when you prick, I don't feel the pain. Yes, I obviously feel the pain. I felt the pain of being operated, but it suffered. I am not the body. Body is my possession. I am the possessor. I am not it. That distinct grand wisdom where you say, I am not the body, is the ultimate experience. That is the absolute standpoint, relative standpoint, a perfect mastery over your senses and sense objects. So slowly you march towards that grand experience where you reject the body. And then you say, I am that Brahman. So slowly he's taking step by step. 31 is towards inert matter. He does mention the body, visible objects, and here he distinctly mentions the body. And the next verse, he talks about the other koshas. He talks about the mind. He talks about the vasanas, the causal body. And then the 34th verse, he starts asserting. All right. We will come back and we'll continue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.